So, am I getting sound here? Can people hear me? Hello and good evening. This is actually the second time I tried to do this. I had problems with my microphone. So, hopefully somebody might be out there to tell me if they can hear me. Because that would be good. That's all that looks like it's connected. Yes, according to the monitor at the bottom, people can hear me. So, I'm planning on doing a few more of these live streams, hopefully, and they will normally cover stuff that I wouldn't normally do. As you can see in my background, you will see my little Ruby on the bed that's in the background there. So if anybody comes to this later, I said a couple of things I was doing. I saw a video the other day called Why You Keep Buying Books You Don't Read. It's by a channel called Answer in Progress. But what was really funny about it was they were complaining the fact that they had 111 books. And I was thinking, okay, I've probably got more than that on my back shelf over there. So yes, 111 books, and they'd only read about 30% of them. So I don't know what that was all about, but it was quite interesting. But the one I was going to talk about today was David Gerald, the author. He shared a thing from a site called The Book Therapist, and they put down 35 reading tips I've learned after reading 350 books. Well, 350 books. What's that about? If you did 7 years reading, I don't know. But yeah, I thought I'd go through them, and that would be my live stream for the day. I don't think that they actually put them together, but I think they've taken it from somebody on Twitter. So yes, so these 35 tips. So we go on. Number 1 is the hardest part of reading is sitting down to start. Which, yes, I can probably agree with that. Number 2, quit boring books to make room for brilliant ones. Well, what do you count as a boring book is always the question. So even sort of dullish books can give you something. Number 3, reading one book may not change your life, but reading every day will change everything. There's a few of these in here that all sound like weird motivational quotes. So I don't know whether they're into that sort of thing or what, but that's what it felt like. Number 4, read fewer books that have been around for days. Read more books that have been around for decades. Yes and no. I think you just read what you want. It's all getting... Don't overcomplicate it. If you ever say you don't have time to read books, just take a look at your phone screen time. Yeah, I suppose it's the same for people who spend a lot of time on their phone. I don't really. All reading counts as reading. Try print books, ebooks, audiobooks to find the format that works best for you. Yes, I agree with that. All I'll say, my wife goes through a lot of audiobooks because she has a disability, and it's an easier way for her to consume books. But as we say, is audiobooks aren't reading, they're listening, which is a totally different skill. Doesn't mean that what they're consuming is different or that it's any less valid than reading a print book or a ebook. It's using a different skill. And I said, I find I absorb better by physically reading off the page compared to listening. That's probably because my wife's got better skills than me. Number 7. It's not about how many books you get through that matters, but it's how many books that get through you that matters. That sounds like a bit of the sickness and diarrhea counts. Sorry. So, yeah. Number 8. Put your phone on silent and leave it in another room before reading, and you'll get 10 times your focus. Well, my phone half the time is in another part of the house anyway, so it's not really sort of valid. And then it's got to read good books, reread great books, rebuy groundbreaking books. Not sure why you'd rebuy them if you've already got them and read them, but yes, I've got some books. I've got more than one. I said, you don't become a reader and then start reading books. You start reading books and then become a reader. We're in this weird motivational territory, aren't we, really? It's better to quit, and this is number 11 now, it's better to quit a book than to quit reading altogether. I agree, but why would a book you didn't like make you give up reading forever? That's a bit I'm confused about. And then number 12 is, if a book changed your life, aim to reread it once a year. Yes, maybe, but then I've got, how does books change your life? I've got favourite books. I'd love to reread every year, but I don't have time to because I'm reading other books. And there's some series of books that I'd love to reread at the moment, but I just don't have time. Return or regift or recycle books you didn't enjoy. Yeah, that's fair enough. I send mine off to charity shop or give them away or send them to people. Speed reading is reading twice as fast to remember half as much. Define speed reading, really. Is it just because skimming and speed reading are two totally different things, aren't they, really? The best places to read are airplanes, beaches, and parks. Yeah, well, our planes here are little prop planes that are incredibly noisy, and I couldn't read on them because it's the ones that take us across to the mainland. So no, beaches here half the time here we have 60-mile-an-hour winds, and same with the parks. So my best place to read is actually at home. Nice comfy spot at home. Number 16, the rite of passage all readers must go through is learning how to pick books for themselves instead of waiting for others to pick books for them, like how parents, teachers, and professors did. I find this a bit of a weird one because people didn't really ever pick books for me. I always picked my own. And if teachers and sort of parents did, if teachers and professors did, it was because they were required for the course. Of course, I had to read physics textbooks when I was studying radiation, because otherwise that would have been really weird not to. Number 17, reading book summaries and thinking you understand the book is like watching a movie trailer and thinking you understand the movie. Yeah, fair enough. But who does that? Why would you read all the blurb on the back of a summary is to give you an idea? They've obviously got to think about speed reading. The irony of speed reading is that you can speed read the book, it isn't worth reading, which I think is just a really nonsense statement. The best books are impossible to speed read because they constantly make you stop and think. Not necessarily. I've got some books that I would say are not going to make me stop and think all the time. They're just entertainment. But it doesn't mean they're bad books. 19. The goal of reading is application, not memorization. Stop spending time trying to remember information. Instead, spend time trying to apply information. This is a very sort of... I get a feeling, reading through this list, this person's really into self-help books, because that's a sort of nonsense that they put in those, really. 20. If you want to build a reading habit, set up a goal to read for 2 minutes a day. The goal is so small and impossible to come up with a reasonable excuse not to do it. Well, I'd say the goal is so small that it's easy to get an excuse not to do it, because what's the point of doing 2 minutes? I'd say set yourself a goal of 30 minutes a day or 15 minutes a day. 2 minutes a day is just not worth doing. And then it's got the person who writes book summary benefits 10 times more than the person who reads the summary. Yeah, I could see that one. And if you read a book but don't change your behavior or thinking in any way, either the book sucks or you learn nothing. Now, this just comes to the thing is, why do you need to, every book you need to learn something? I've got art books. Do I learn something from those? I suppose I do, but it just seems a bit weird. I said it feels like this person's into a lot of sort of self-help and motivational books. Probably reads a lot of what's his name? Robbins, the guy. Can't remember his name now. Just because you brought a book doesn't mean it came with a binding contract to finish it. No, that's true. Everyone who reads 100 plus books a year is either getting paid to read or reading fiction. That's just a bunch of nonsense I've ever heard. Some people are just fast readers, and also, are you assuming that fiction is less worthwhile than non-fiction? Because that is just total rubbish. Total and utter rubbish. And no man ever reads the same book twice, for it is not the same book, and he is not the same man. That's just like one of these weird quotes. Books are an investment, not an expense. A $10 book can make you $100,000 or even $100 billion. Look up Warren Buffett's comment about the intelligent investor. I think that's a bit of a clue, the sort of books that this person who wrote this list is into. 27. Your reading environment is more important than your reading motivation. It is easier to read an average book at a library than an amazing book at a rock concert. I've read amazing books in weird places because you get so into them. Number 28. Carry a book with you everywhere. You never know, you'll find yourself extra time to read. I suppose for people who go out and go travel places, just makes sense. Number 29. Give a book 3 chances for chapters to win you over. If you aren't into it by then, it's out, and don't feel guilty about quitting it. I think that's nonsense. I've had books come together in the last chapter, the last portion of the book. Ones that come to mind, Jamie Mollett's Kings of the Dead World, which was a book I didn't really enjoy reading, but then at the back end of it, it just sort of formed itself together, and actually I've decided I really liked the book. So that's the one that came to mind immediately. So yeah, no, I wouldn't do that. There's many a book that I've read that seem to have come back at the last portion. To the 3 chances. Now we're number 30. Easy reading hack. I hate the term hack. I really hate the term hack. Download an ebook or audiobook to your phone so you always have something to read. If you don't have a physical book with you, I wouldn't read an ebook on a phone, because I just wouldn't read a book on a phone because I hate it. So no. But yeah, you can put an audiobook on it, I suppose. Then number 31, the highest praise you can give an author is showing them that you wrote, highlighted, and devoured their book. If you show them pristine books, they'll think you didn't even read it. I mean, that's just nonsense. I don't write in books. I'm not going to start writing in books. Never have, never will. She'll never be here for me. Then spend time reading short books. Some of the shortest books have the deepest lessons. Yes, some short books are fantastic, but just read books. Don't worry about the length of them. Just read what interests you. For timeless problems, read timeless books. For modern problems, read modern books. That's just yeah. 34. Books are the ultimate life hack. For $10, you can download 10 years of wisdom in 10 hours or less. Yeah. I said, I'm not convinced this person wrote the whole of this list himself. I wonder whether it's an amalgamation of some other lists. And it's got number 35, the final one is the best time to start reading books was 10 years ago. The second best time is to start today. So yeah, that's it. That's 35 weird tips. And most of them are sort of motivational quotes. And what is the name of the guy, Robbins, who does the motivational stuff? I cannot remember. But anyway, a lot of it sort of comes along that sort of thing. The comments on this are quite funny, though. But yeah, that's the end of it. So that's me done. I said I'm hoping to do some more of these live streams. Probably around about 8 o'clock on a Wednesday evening. That's British summertime we're in at the moment. But yeah, that's in. And as you can see, the Ruby, the pom, is just scratching her chin behind me on this bare bed. And yeah, I'll leave it up there. And I hope what I was talking about today, I'll just sort of, I'm hoping that once people get used to the fact that I'm going to be here doing the odd live stream, that they will come. It's a bit like Field of Dreams. If you build it, they will come. But anyway, have a good evening, and whenever you watch this. And thanks all very, very much. Bye-bye.